Testing. 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 Testing.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is 10 o'clock. Welcome to the May 9th Public Safety and Justice Committee meeting. I am Supervisor Ellenberg, chair of this committee, and we are joined by Supervisor Wasserman, who is the vice chair. To get us going, I'd like to ask that all of the committee members introduce themselves, please.
Good morning, Dr. Jordan, Medical Examiner, Coroner's Office.
Jeff Rosen, District Attorney.
Good morning, Laura Garnett, Chief Probation Officer.
Good morning, Molly O'Neill, Public Defender.
Good morning, Under Sheriff Rick Sung from the Sheriff's Office, filling in for the Sheriff who's currently at County Chief's meeting.
Good morning, Ted Zahner, Assistant Presiding Judge.
Morning, Rob Coelho from County Counsel's Office.
Gary Hersig, County Executive's Office.
Thank you very much, and we will get right into public comment. I have one speaker card from Scott Largent. Come on up, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Scott Largent. Kind of fumbling in the back there. I wanted to stay kind of focused on a visitation thing that I'm dealing with for seeing my child. We have an updated list with our county right now that's put onto the Superior Court's website, and now it only has 4 providers. So we have a county of about 2 million people, and we only have 4 private providers. And then we only have, through Choices for Children right here, we only provide a grant that will allow 1 visit a month. Now, I believe it's now changed where it's 1 a week. I don't understand how somebody can bond with a child at a scary courthouse. It just doesn't seem right. Now, I'm wondering, why are these changing so much on the Superior Court's website? Why is my current visitation provider, now I was having some problems with payment. At $100 an hour, I was just getting tanked over there at the visitation provider. I worked an agreement. I'm in the position now to pay off what I owe this gal, but she's no longer on this list. So now I'm going to face the same thing I faced before, where I'm going to hit another wall where now my ex is going to say she's not even on the list. This other place that I contacted, the courthouse, does not want to call me back and does not want to provide that visitation. Some people from the county have tried to help me out right now with Catholic Charity Services, okay? I dealt with them in the beginning of my sobriety, and I have it right here, trying to utilize a service called Access to Visitation, okay? This is the one that I contacted for almost 9 months, kept leaving messages. I am now in contact with them now again to recreate the wheel 3 years later, and they don't even know if they can provide these type of services. And they're now saying that it has to be a dependency case. So you can see what I'm saying. It's door. We had something years back that was necessary in our county for recovering addicts like myself that need help with visitation. Why are we letting these things just fall apart? And why are we not disconnecting numbers or finding another option for somebody? I'm really running out of options. Our system at our courts is divide and rule. When you can't afford an attorney like myself right now, I get absolutely clobbered. When I complete mediation right here, it just doesn't really matter because no pressure is put on my ex regarding any of these things. No visitation orders are enforced. Nothing's done. And I can't afford an attorney, so do you have to come from wealth, power, and influence to be a father? I don't understand it. The county is supposed to help people like me. That's why you're all here. So it's failing my daughter. And my poor ex, I really feel bad for her right now. She has no clue everything that I've tried to complete to be a dad. This poor woman's raising a child by herself right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We confirm with the clerk that we have no other cards for public comment. Thank you. Then we will move on to item 3, the consent calendar. And does not look like we have any cards on the consent calendar. Supervisor Wasserman, any?
Thank you. Item 3 says approve consent calendar changes. And I see we have item number 6 on the consent calendar. So I would not propose any changes, but I would make a motion to approve the consent calendar, which is all of number 6.
That is fine with me. I'll second that. Okay. That takes us on to the regular agenda, item 4, and we're going to hear a report from the Sheriff's Department. morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Assistant Sheriff Doty, Sheriff's Office, and accompanied with me is Juan Gallardo, Assistant or Administrative Services Director. So we've submitted our report regarding the jail facility posts and what is considered mandated versus non-mandated, and we'll certainly be available to answer any questions that you may have in regards to that report. But through the presentation here, the definitions we'd like to start off with. Positions are considered non-24-hour assignments. A single assignment that does not require any particular relief factor. Whereas a post is a 24-hour assignment. Positions in a post amount of coverage required for that particular assignment. There are half posts, which are needed 7 days a week on either day or night shift. Assignments are business units within the chain of command. Locations would be regarding daily staffing deployment, and mandated positions would be positions either required by law, federal or state, litigation agreement, consent decrees, things of that nature, required by regulation of Title 15, or required to provide constitutional rights regarding conditions of confinement. Some examples of mandated posts would be our ADA compliance unit, our classification unit, deputies assigned to housing units, deputies assigned to perimeter positions, deputies assigned to our control centers and operations within the facilities, internal affairs, and operational standards and inspections. Non-mandated post examples would be comprised of our programs unit, which consists of our CASU deputies out within the community, our sustainability deputies, grievance lieutenant, industry deputies, jail transition deputy, and our LGBTQI deputy. This is an example of our overall positions, sworn positions within our custody bureau. And it just gives you an example of a breakdown of the total mandated deputy positions in comparison to our authorized deputy positions, as well as our sergeant, lieutenant, and captains, and assistant sheriff. Vacancies at this point in time, just to give an example, a total of 57 vacancies, which includes 5 sergeants, and the remaining are deputy positions. We have our next custody academy that is scheduled to start May 21st of this year and graduating September 5th. And within that academy, we are on schedule to have approximately 60 recruits hired for that academy. And that's the end of our presentation, and we'd be available to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, looking first to public comment, and I don't see any comments on this item, so looking to.
Thank you.
I went that way. Sorry, I do have one comment. This is 5. We're on 4. That's okay. Thank you for checking. Okay, thank you. I want to thank the Sheriff's Office very much for this report. The data is critical. We've been trying to put together a staffing study, and this is a really important piece and link in being able to do that. Having the data will now enable CGL to really conduct a thorough analysis and be able to give us direction as we move into the budget season as to what the real needs are, and ideally move us to a place where we're really stemming the tide of overtime work and able to ensure that this critical institution is staffed properly. So I appreciate that as well, and want to draw everyone's attention, if you're not familiar with the full scope of the CGL staffing study. There's a memo to the board from, let me find that, from Martha Wapinski, dated March 12th, 2019, that lists this scope of of CGL's staffing study. And again, I really want to appreciate the sheriff's continued cooperation with this and look forward. I'm not going to ask for additional reports, but we'll look forward to hearing the results of the staffing study and analysis from CGL. So thank you very much, and report is accepted. Yep. Any other comments? Okay. Item 5 is held here to consider various budget inventory items that are forwarded to the Board of Supervisors. The items fall into a very specific category. They need to be over $100,000 to come to this committee and be for requests for one-time expenditures. So, for example, requests for additional positions, anything connected with a salary would not be appropriate for an inventory request item because that's by definition not a one-time item. And as it turns out, we do not have any requests that fall into that category for this committee, therefore making this an exceptionally short meeting. But we do have one public comment on item 5, and that is from Scott Largent.
Thank you, everyone. Scott Largent. I guess we're having this meeting, of course, because budget time. That's what I guess I'm guessing. Why are we not figuring something out as far as civil rights here? Why are we not doing anything about anything like that here in Santa Clara County? You guys will protect people's criminal rights, but you're really doing nothing. I'm being prosecuted right now. I'm not supposed to really talk about this, so my attorney's probably going to be pretty upset. But remember, I have a jury trial in 3 weeks right now for this unconstitutional order right here. So I am going through a full-on trial, which will be very interesting. Now, I finally was able to get an attorney, but remember, I don't have one on a civil level. So what the county could not stop me doing, exercising my First Amendment rights, we are going through a civil process right now. This might not interest anybody, but this is just shady right here. Why would I not have representation? Why on one hand would you allow somebody to have their rights protected, and on the other hand you're just not doing anything about it? Judge Zahner, you're very familiar with me and my case. I've been in your department several times. I was very frustrated in your courtroom. I didn't understand the process. I got mad at you in the courtroom. I apologized for it after the fact. I don't know what I'm doing in there. My mouth should be shut in that courtroom, and I should have legal representation to protect my rights. Instead, I go in there, I make an ass out of myself, and I try to file and do things that I know nothing about. And this all stems from me just fighting for my property. I wanted my motorhome back, I wanted my father's ashes back, and I wanted to move on with my life. And to this date, they can't tell me where my stuff's at. That's why I end up in your courtroom, and that's why I'm frustrated. So, thank you.
And with that, unless there are any final comments from anyone on the dais, we will adjourn. And the next PSJC meeting will be on June 6th at 2 p.m. And that meeting at that meeting we will kick off our first study session where we will be exploring the county's jail diversion efforts. With that, thank you very much, everyone, for making time.